All right, there you have it, boys and girls. I'm not even going to respond to Conor's stupid little tweet acting like I dipped. The simple fact of the matter is you are the most unreliable human being that has ever graced mixed martial arts. It's not that I am not Conor's next opponent. It's that he is not my next opponent. But I am Conor McGregor's next opponent. The only way he comes back to the UFC, that road goes straight through Nashville, Tennessee, and he's going to fight me because he has to prove to the entire world that he's not actually scared of me. And I've been very hesitant to say that because I don't want to sound like a douche, but the man signed a check with his mouth that his behind could not cash, and he realized, okay, I did the Ultimate Fighter, that was fun. Now wait a second, I actually have to fight this guy. I truly believe that if Conor McGregor was lined up against anybody in the entire world whose name was not Michael Chandler, he would have showed up on June 29th, but he didn't. And it's time to get back in there and get back to work. The boy is back, and we're chasing gold in 2025, and it starts in November at Madison Square Garden. Co-main event, John Jones versus Stipe, which is going to be the biggest card, the biggest fight of the entire year. Get pumped up, boys and girls. The boy is back. The most exciting, electrifying guy that you ever see step inside of the octagon. Conor McGregor, you're a poser. Get your house in order. Charles Oliveira, I respect the hell out of you. Can't wait to compete against you. See you in 60-something days. God bless. See you at the top.
I got more promo, more eyeballs, more of everything in the last year and a half than I would have gotten with 3 fights. And now I get the opportunity to take a title run. I beat Charles Oliveira, I become the #1 contender. I beat Charles Oliveira, I can choose to go fight Islam or Arman. I believe it's going to be Islam. Or if Conor can finally get his house in order and put together a training camp and show up to a fight, maybe I go fight Conor and we finish the Ultimate Fighter 31. This is the ultimate bet on yourself. So I think you guys have forgotten who I am. I was the guy who bet on myself and walked onto the University of Missouri, a Division I college, and ended up becoming a 4-time national qualifier, an All-American, and a 3-year team captain. I was the guy who bet on myself when I had the virtual certainty of Bellator and I could have stayed there, made a ton of money, and had massive security. And I bet it all on myself and went to the UFC, and now I've had this run. And now, every fighter on the roster, no matter what they say, and all you silly little naysayers out there talking about me waiting for Conor, and I should pivot and I should do all these other things, every fighter on the roster, with their name having been connected to a contract, a bout agreement with Conor McGregor at a certain date, at a certain weight, at a certain location, I still have that, even though the fight is still to be determined, but I am pivoting. Why? Because I'm a fighter through and through, and I think you guys have forgotten that. Nobody would have had the balls to make this decision and bet on themselves like this. And for me, this is personal. This is a revenge fight. Charles Oliveira stole my dream of becoming UFC champion, my #1 goal, becoming the #1 guy in the entire world back in Houston, Texas, my second fight in the UFC. So now, talked to Henry Hooft this morning, we're putting together a game plan to go beat him in a rematch. This is always the way it was supposed to be. You never know how your story is going to be written. Yeah, I have my doubts. Yeah, I have my hard days. But since day one, when I fought Dustin Poirier back at MSG in November of 2022, then we started the next journey. Then I got the phone call for the Ultimate Fighter, and then everything has played out how it has played out. Since day one, I have never stopped working. I have never stopped the faith that all of this is going to work out, and I have the confident expectancy that everything is going to work out. And I know Conor is already out there talking. Obviously, he has to talk, and he has to throw shade at me and tell me I'm an idiot for squandering the bag, and this is the biggest fight, and now he's just upset. He's got his feelings hurt because he realizes what I've realized the entire time but haven't been public about it. I don't need Conor McGregor to cement my legacy in this sport. I'm here to be champion. I'm here to be #1. That's why I'm about to make this title run. I dispatch of Charles Oliveira November 16th at Madison Square Garden, which will be my 3rd fight of the night at Madison Square Garden since I've been in the UFC. I'm gonna go get my hand raised, and then I go win the title, or I finally get the opportunity to snatch Conor McGregor's soul.
So, Conor, earlier today, Dana White announced that Michael Chandler was going to be taking another fight prior to fighting you. You've expressed interest in fighting Jeremy Stephens. Where do you feel that you are at in your career right now?
You know, I got tested this evening. I got tested today by the Drug-Free Sport Agency. I'm the most tested athlete on the roster by more than twice the amount. I believe I'm tested maybe 13 times. The amount of seconds it took me to finish Jose Aldo, 13 times. And, you know, actually, funny enough, Jose Aldo was number 2 in the testing. I think he's been tested 6 times. So I've been tested more than twice all these other athletes, yet I struggle to get a date. So, you know, I've talked to Sheikh Turkey and said, Sheikh Turkey, can you assist me here? You know, as far as Chandler rematching Oliveira, I'm happy with the date. It's November. Maybe we can still do it after, if they're not going to line me out till maybe December, January, February, or one of these dates. You know, maybe we can still do it. I'm just a bit, you know, out of the loop with it, you know. So all I can do is carry on doing what I'm doing. You know, I test under the testing administration. I train daily, and you know, that's it. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, it all comes to fruition.
Conor, I see you fueled up. I know you love this bare knuckle stuff. You said you were trying to be player manager. When's a realistic timeline for you?
You know, like I said, I have 2 fights left in my UFC contract. My opponent that I was scheduled to fight has rescheduled another bout. I would love maybe an exemption or maybe a joint partnership, bare knuckle UFC, similar to McGregor Sports and Entertainment and Mayweather Promotions. Some sort of you know, agreement where we can get busy. You know, I need to be busy, and right now I'm working to get there. So let's see what happens. Like I said, I have 2 fights left on the contract, and it's taken a minute, but you know, patience is one of the most important skills a human being can possess, study, learn, and implement, and that's where I'm at right now.